you guys had only one loss season in '85. You guys are arguably the best team ever. And we'll talk about the Fridge in a second here. He's kind of an interesting character. But you guys dominated the playoffs, crushing the New England Patriots 46-10. What did it feel like to have that kind of winning success at the highest level? I mean, you came from Oregon. You won the Super Bowl in a crushing fashion. What went through you? What was that like? Take the audience through that.
Well, I remember when our last game, and we had a bye for the playoffs, and I talked to my mother on the phone, and I said, "Mom, we won the Super Bowl before the next two games." I'm like, now we're going to win it. We won it. It's over. And actually, I just talked to her a couple of minutes before this, and she remembers that conversation. And it was a momentum that boy, try to stop it. You just.
So you haven't played the game yet, but you guys knew.
Yep.
Just the momentum, the energy, what was going on.
Had to execute, had to follow through, but yeah, it was pretty much. I knew it couldn't be stopped, even if somebody scored on us, which they really didn't in the playoffs. I don't think anybody scored a point in the playoffs. It's just a train that just couldn't be stopped.
So what was it like to be on the field of the Super Bowl, knowing that millions of people around the world are watching, knowing everybody in the stadium's watching with expectations? How do you get in the moment where you just execute in the play? I know you've been playing all season, but that's a different kind of pressure. I mean, that's got to get everybody ginned up a little bit.
Yeah.
Get the adrenaline going. So,
yeah, you're moving a little faster, playing a little harder, thinking a little harder. If I was a quarterback and I was in the game, I would have overthrown everybody by about 20 yards.
Because you're
so jacked up.
Yeah.
Luckily, I'm a corner, so it didn't show up that way.
Right.
Although Irving Fryer ran right by me one time, I was like, "Oh, okay." That woke me up.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a crazy feeling. You know, I did have a surreal moment, which was we're standing in the end zone, and the starters are about to be introduced, and I'm looking up, and I'm looking like, wow, it looks like what is 1 million people in the stands, and I see 2 goalposts and a football field. I'm like, that is the same field I saw when I was 10 years old, exact same field. But now you have all this wrapped around it, and it's just a surreal moment. And the moment in my mind lasts like an hour, but it was just a thought, yes. I remember that, and thanks for bringing that. I remember that. I haven't thought about that in a while. And then, when the game started, it was just, dare I say it? I don't want to insult anybody, but it seemed to me like a formality. And when the Patriots scored 3 points first, I was like, yeah, that's nothing. That's not a big deal. Because the defense was just so stifling, and we'd already played them as well. It's funny too, because with the kids that I train, they asked, "Well, who'd you beat in the Super Bowl?" I was like, "The New England Patriots." They're like, "Oh my God, are you kidding me?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, they weren't the same team as now.
Before Tom Brady.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
That's incredible. So you're able to get in the game. It's pretty pumped and jacked on the front end, but then as the game gets going, things start to settle down. You just get into your roles as the football player position you are. I mean, you have adrenaline, but you're not overshooting the receiver by 10 yards or so. Before the Super Bowl, you guys took part in the now famous Super Bowl Shuffle. That thing became really famous. It became a mainstream phenomenon.
I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea what
you're talking about. I know you're in it. In fact, it was nominated for a Grammy Award for Best R&B Performance. How did this video connect to the Bears fans, and were there any concerns about jinxing the Super Bowl dreams of such a video?
No concerns at all. I didn't realize myself, I didn't really make the connection that, we're singing this song with these words, and when do we do that? October? It was October, whenever it
was before the Super
Dolphins,
Bowl. Yeah.
Long before the Super Bowl. And Willie Gold, who helped put the thing together, he kind of organized the whole thing. He brought the song into the locker room and said, "Hey guys, listen to this." And it was like, okay, that's interesting. Oh, that's funny. And he was like, okay, anybody that wants to be in the video, come on downtown, on Tuesday, our day off after the game. So we did that, and I'm a rookie, and not much to do in Chicago for me. I didn't really know many people, so go down there and we have fun dancing around. And I remember Mike Singletary choreographed the moves. So if anybody looks at the moves, blame Mike Singletary. But we had a little dance move in the background, and it was fun. And there was a crew there, a camera crew, and filming everything, and just this elaborate studio. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. So we did that for a day, and then literally, I'm driving down the freeway to a game, and on the radio, I'm like, hey, there's our song. That's kind of cool. And then about 2 weeks later, I hear the song again, and I'm in my townhouse, and I hear the song, and I was like, wow, they're really playing this song. And then I thought, I don't have the radio on. I have the TV on.
Yeah.
I went to look at the TV, and there we were on an MTV. Yeah. I was like, holy smokes, this thing is going
big.
crazy.
Yeah.
And so everybody took to it, and wow, they still talk about it. I was just in Chicago several weeks ago.
Sure.
We were doing, an event, in our alumni event for all the generations, and people still remember that. And I got to go and talk to kids at a school that one of my friends is a principal at, and everybody, they remember the Super Bowl Shuffle. Were you in that? And it's like, wow, seriously, that was 34 years ago. Really? Wow. Yeah.
That's what winning does for people.
Yeah, right.
You become memorable forever. So what was the after party like after the Super Bowl? I mean, you guys came through a crazy season, come together, from the camp to the end. What was that after party like? Was it just a joyous, like, this is unreal, surreal? What was that like?
Yeah, it was very surreal, and I remember we didn't, I don't think I slept much after the game. And the after party was a myriad of Hollywood stars and athlete stars. I mean, the Jacksons were there. I was just like, wow, this is amazing for the game of football. Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Okay, this is amazing.
Now, be honest, was Dick a little chill after that? Was he the same gruffy, screamy guy, or was he a little more approachable?
Not sure, can't speak to that because I didn't really see him after the game.
Okay.
And I certainly don't want him coming after me now.
Yeah. Although I think you still outrun him.
Yeah, I don't know. He's a pretty tough guy. That was great. And then, the next morning, we get to the airport, and usually we get there and we can go to our cars. Well, there were buses for us. And we're like, kind of, wiping our eyes off and, waking up. What are all these buses and all these black limousines? What is that? And so we're herded onto these buses, and we just head downtown. So we're going downtown to the, celebration downtown.
Yeah.
And I looked up, and I'm like, this must be really early because there's nobody on the freeway. I'm groggy. And it's like, they shut the freeway down. They blocked off the freeway so this parade of us could go downtown. Right. We get there, there's like, I don't know how many, 1 million people it seemed like. I mean, they just crowded the buses. It was, we couldn't even get out of the bus. And I remember Ron Rivera climbed through the top of the bus, and so we all climbed through the top and stood on top of the buses.
Wow.
And they were shaking the bus. It was incredible.
Wow.
It was absolutely amazing.
Did Michael Jordan come out to celebrate?
Yeah, he was still in the air.
That's awesome. I mean, what a great story. So, natural question, how were you able to keep your feet on the ground after a Super Bowl victory? I mean, some people can take the ego and it takes them to a different place, and other people can take it in context and say, no, we won the Super Bowl, but I stay on the ground, I still work hard, I still have this job.
Oh, are you kidding? Yeah, that's easy. There are so many legendary NFL guys that never got to play.
Yeah.
And never got to play a long time, and certainly never got to play in a Super Bowl or win a Super Bowl. To be grateful of that, and the boys that I grew up with.
And at such a young age, right, that you had that mindset and that perspective.
Sure. I grew up with a lot of guys who worked just as hard as me.
Yeah.
And, we didn't get the opportunity. It's all about creating the opportunity, but the right opportunity, one that you can be successful in. And that's huge. And so, I'm always respectful. I had a lot of help along the way. A lot of people lifting me up, from family friends to my mom's friends to my father to my dad's friends to coaches, everybody, it takes a village to raise a kid, that whole village. I can point to my professors in college, just everybody supported.
So you had really good grounding built into that experience of the Super Bowl.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
For me, absolutely.